We, before I sort of go on, let me sort of just acknowledge how appreciative we are of the wonderful wedding that Julie and Jerry are hosting tonight. And we really understand what it means to host a wedding. Okay. Looking back on Daniel's past so far in life, it has been surprisingly directed towards gaining strong leadership skills and seeking community well-being. And that has been really a hallmark of his early childhood to now. He is very much his own person and has always found his own special way to fulfillment, forging new directions unfamiliar to his two academically oriented parents. Strong will, deep caring, intelligence, perspicacity. And we can't imagine where he got it. Pure stubbornness. That's our Daniel and his road to success. Rebecca. Rebecca seems to be a kindred spirit, even as Grace is her password. Luckily, though, that both are good listeners and superb negotiators, and that will be very important for their life together. And that's really a wonderful set of skills that have taken us a long, long time to learn. And are still learning. We are very proud of Daniel for his career in social justice, which started in high school with his summer internship in Washington, D.C. with the National Coalition for Homeless, a position created for him. It was his initiative that got him this job. His desire to empower people who are less fortunate than he is an inspiration to us. And we also want to say that, Becky, you are an inspiration to us. Rebecca shares his values and mixes them with humor, a strong practical sense, effective community building skills, a deepening understanding of organizations, and an open and ever-learning mind. And we've come to understand that. We've seen a lot of both of your growth. And Becky, we really appreciate the process that you've undergone. If you don't know it, and this is what the rabbi's stealing my thunder, if you don't know it, Rebecca has the foresight to select her future husband. Without this joyous moment would not have occurred. Today, we are reveling in the rich sense of community this place. We really appreciate that sense of community that you embody. We look forward to Rebecca and Daniel's marriage flourishing in the years ahead, and that they both find their unique and combined paths to fulfillment and joy. And I think that was really reflected in what was being said under the hoop. Even though Daniel's grandparents are no longer alive, we know that both sets would be very joyous at seeing their only grandson at this moment. So I don't have a drink, so let us drink to this wonderful partnership and all it promises. And l'chaim. You drink.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
Minor details of the wedding itself. The invitation lists, the invitations, finding the photographer, making the website, the drudgery of putting together a gift registry, the very difficult task of tasting the food and cake, the wine, and the wedding that is paramount. They wanted this weekend's events to sanctify and solidify the bond which they have for each other, and at the same time to recognize and pay homage to all of us for the roles we played in supporting this union and supporting each of them individually to be able to reach this milestone. The old cliches of "it takes a village" and standing on the shoulders of those before us are true. For our own part, we are absolutely thrilled. We are absolutely thrilled beyond belief in gaining Dan as a son. We want to recognize Priscilla and Victor for the marvelous job they did in raising our son Dan. From the time we first met From the time we first met you, Dan, we were hoping that this day would come. Sometimes it's difficult being a parent, knowing when and when not to say something, to push, or to pull back. In the old country, in the old days, Victor and I could have tried to work something out, and I wouldn't have felt so helpless. And perhaps if they were obedient children, they might have consented, but it would not be like this. This is a match much stronger than anything Victor or I could have concocted. Look at them, they are radiant. So to Victor and Priscilla, we not only say thank you, but also you're welcome. Because Julie and I, with the help of many of you here, and many who are not, have raised a wonderful daughter, Rebecca. She is kind and generous, smart and savvy, strong and gutsy, and rock solid in her basic core values of putting people and relationships first, knowing how to be a friend through both easy times and hard times, but always turning them into good times. So now Becky and Dan are a unit, and the whole is much greater than the sum of the parts. They complement and augment each other in ways that allow each as an individual to accomplish and achieve more than they could individually. Becky and Dan are community builders, and we, as the first rings of their radiating community, are much the richer for this union. Not only are we gaining a son, we're gaining new relatives in New England and the South, expanding our family to include a diversity in thought and religion as well as wisdom for your real life experiences, enriching our lives. This union brings us new friends who are younger and just feeling your own power, coming into your own adulthoods, making the world yours, and inspiring us to remember those days when we were idealistic, enthusiastic, and hopeful about a bright future for ourselves and our planet. It's a great gift. And their gift to you is their bringing us together, families and friends, in the hope that we can make new connection amongst ourselves, strengthening and enlarging each of our own communities. We truly appreciate your being here to help support the formation of this new family and to provide a context and nurturing community which will help them thrive.
So Jerry wrote his speech and wrote everything that I was planning to say in mine. So I just would like, in Thanksgiving, it'll be 6 years ago this fall, Becky was home and she mentioned she was seeing this guy, and I kind of asked her a little about him and she didn't say too much. And then a couple of weeks later, December sometime or other, maybe a month or so later, I said, "So are you still seeing that guy?" And she said, "No, I'm seeing somebody else now." And his name was Dan. And so she started mentioning him quite a bit more often than anybody else she had been going out with. And we would say, "What are you doing this weekend?" And she was getting together with Dan. And so then she came to visit in like early spring, February or March or so. So we were just chatting, and I said, this Dan guy. And she took a deep breath, and she sat down on my bed. We were in my bedroom talking, and she sat down, and she looked at me, and she said, I think I'm falling in love. And then our job was just to wait and watch and enjoy. Watching their relationship grow and their love grow, and each of them grow in kind of in the support of each other's love. And it's been a real joy to be with both of you the past 5 years, and we've learned from you, and we just wish you the very best. And I would like to propose 2 toasts. The first...
I'm going to ask our daughter, who always has our backs, Gladys, if she'd be kind enough to bring up her drinks.
That's a maid of honor for her, huh? So the first toast I would like to propose is to Victor and Priscilla. When Jerry's folks need a little help nowadays, they sometimes say, what can we do to repay you? How can we reciprocate? And I always say, you already did. You raised Jerry and gave me a wonderful husband. And so what I would like to say to Victor and Priscilla is thank you for raising a wonderful husband, partner, and life soulmate for our daughter. To Victor and Priscilla, thank you very much. And to Becky and Dan, just a toast. Hear, hear.
Strong move.
Can I have everybody's attention, please? I'd first like to start off by thanking Dan and Becky and their families for hosting this and organizing this amazing weekend that we've all enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
And for letting us celebrate this very special day with you guys. So my name's Mark Zachary. I've been friends with Dan since about the 5th grade when we were growing up together in Amherst. And although Dan and I, were very close growing up, there's a good number of differences between Dan and I. For example, Dan was a very outdoorsy kind of guy. He was, a great athlete. He played ultimate frisbee and cross country. I was more interested in playing video games in my basement. Dan was a great musician. He played the trombone. He played in several bands. I was more interested in playing video games in my basement. Dan was really into politics. He worked on the Kerry campaign, and you've heard enough about me.
That's funny.
So we had a lot of great